Hi, this is Tammy with Good Girl with a Gun, and today we are going to talk about taking your first trip to the range. I know my first trip to the range, I was really lucky. I had someone that I went with, but then my second trip to the range, I went by myself, and it was completely intimidating. But it doesn't have to be if you kind of plan ahead and know what to expect. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what to expect the first time you visit a gun range. First thing you want to do is get online and check to see if the gun range is open to the public. There are several gun ranges that are members only, and you want to know that before you head out so you're not caught by surprise. Depending on the range, they may have available memberships if you want to join right away. Many of the private ranges, the outdoor ranges, they have waiting lists to get your membership, and you can always go and get on the waiting list if you're sure that shooting and going to the range is going to be something you want to do. But most indoor ranges are going to be open to the public, and oftentimes they're attached to a retail space. But get on their website and make sure that they are open to the public. You can also find out on there what type of ammunition they allow, because not every range will allow every type of ammunition. Oftentimes you'll find indoor ranges only allow brass-cased ammunition. They do not allow any steel core or steel-cased ammunition, and they don't often allow aluminum ammunition. A lot of people will ask, well, why is that? Most ranges try to be as environmentally sound as they possibly can, and so they recycle that brass. At the end of the day, an employee of the range will clean that range, and they will collect all the brass, and when they get a certain amount of brass, they will sell it to someone who recycles it, and then it will get either melted down and used for something else, or sold to companies that bag used brass for reuse. Really just kind of depends, but you can find out on their website usually what type of ammunition they allow or do not allow. You can also find out what caliber of gun they allow. The type of back berm, the part of the range, the back of the range that catches the bullets, that's going to have an impact on what type of ammunition or how large of a caliber a range will allow. Some ranges will allow you to shoot shotguns, and they'll only allow you to shoot slugs. I know another range that allows shotguns, but they do not allow slugs. It really just depends on the kind of range it is and the construction of the back job. So you can find that out oftentimes on the website as well. If not, you can give the range a call in advance, and the person working should be able to give you all of that information. If the person working can't give you all of that information, it might be a little bit of a red flag about the quality of range you're considering going to. Once you get all that information, you are ready to head out to the range. There's going to be a few things that you need to do. First of all, if you are bringing your own firearm, you're going to want to make sure that it is either in a case or holstered on your body. People get really nervous if someone walks into the gun range just holding a gun in their hands. We don't like it at gun ranges any more than people like it at a normal retail store either. So you're going to want to have some sort of bag or case for your gun. And the box that you bought the gun in is perfectly acceptable to carry that in. What you're looking for is for the muzzle to be covered, the trigger guard to be covered so that you can't reach it, and that lets everyone know that your gun is safe. Even if your gun is unloaded, other people don't know that. So you want to make sure that your gun is cased or holstered before you head into that range. Next up, you are going to want to make sure that you have hearing and eye protection. And we'll talk in another video about the importance of hearing and eye protection. But got a couple of examples here for you. Here's just some basic, inexpensive eye pro. And then hearing protection, these are my electronic ones. You have a couple of different options. A lot of ranges will allow the little foamy earplugs if that's what you've got. I still, especially if you're going to shoot in an indoor range, I recommend muffs or even doubling up on the foams and muffs because it can be really loud in an indoor range. And that's another important thing to remember, is that the range is going to be loud. There are going to be other people there shooting. They may be shooting AR-15s or other really loud firearms, and you should be prepared for that. After you have found out if the range is open to the public, and then you've got your gun all cased up and you've got your eye and ear protections, you've got the right ammo that the range will allow you to shoot, now you're ready to go. Once you arrive at the range, you will most likely have to fill out a waiver. And again, if the range doesn't have you fill out some sort of waiver, that's going to be a red flag about the quality of the range that you're attending. So expect to fill out a waiver. Basically, those waivers usually say, hey, you recognize that the shooting sports are inherently dangerous because of what they are, and that you won't hold them liable for the actions of yourselves or others. A pretty standard waiver. I've signed dozens of them and they all pretty much say the same thing. Some ranges may have you watch a video on gun safety, especially if you're a brand new shooter, excuse me, or brand new to them. So be aware of that too. Plan for a little time to do all of that paperwork to get entered into their system. You'll need your driver's license because they do have to confirm that you are legally able to have possession of the gun. And then also, if you're going to want to rent a firearm, or if you don't have a gun, a lot of ranges do allow rentals. You're going to have to prove that you're of the appropriate age to rent their guns. Usually you have to be 21. You have to be 21 to rent a handgun, or over 18 to rent a non-suppressed long gun. Any gun that is suppressed, you have to be 21 to rent. You may find that if you go, especially if you go with your children, a lot of ranges are not going to allow your minor to shoot their rental firearms. And that's just an insurance precaution on their part. It doesn't do any good to get mad at the range or the person working. They have to protect themselves just like we all have to protect ourselves. So be aware of that may be something you run into. You are also going to need to get targets. You can bring your own targets to most ranges. A lot of ranges are not going to allow you to shoot a target that looks like a real person. I used to work at a gun range, and one day we had a gentleman, which is being generous, a young man bring in one of those like posters you get in high school if you've got high school kids or have ever seen those, of his ex-girlfriend. And he wanted to shoot that. And he was no longer allowed to come to our range because that is unacceptable. We've had people come with posters or targets of current or past presidents of the United States. Again, that's in really poor taste, and most ranges are not going to let you do that. What you do on your own time, on your own property, that's your business, but they have a right to make the rules for their range. Finally, you're just going to want to go with an open mind. You're going to want to go with a sense of adventure, and you're really going to want to focus on having some fun. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe if you like the content we're putting out so that you can hear about future videos. Again, nothing we present here on our videos at Good Girl with a Gun is meant to take the place of good formal instruction with a quality firearms instructor. That is easily the best and most important thing you can do to become a good shooter. But hopefully this video will help you be a little more comfortable in going to the range and getting started in that process. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.